Well, decking is our main business, of course, so outdoor decks on board any type of ship. The main business is cruise ships. The main products are future teak, select soft, select hard, helicopter decks, sports courts, jogging tracks, galley decks, more and more on board of cruise ships, but also the yard business is increasing the use of resin decking on board of their ships. Rather than using teak before, they tend to go for future teak more and more because of maintenance issues, because of environmental issues, but also the fact that they charter out yachts more and more. So they're not in control all the time. There's other visitors on board. Things should be made easy. So yeah, the main products are decking systems. Interesting recent cruise refitting projects. Well, we have many. Bolidt has about 165, 170 ships sailing around the world with our decks on it. And if you figure that every 5-6 years they will have to resurface areas on board, they will go into dry dock. So some work needs to be done. And on one ship it's more than on the other, but every ship, every 5 years needs to do something. So 160, 170 ships divided by 5 is a lot of ships each year, which don't happen because they postpone and they wait maybe another term. But then it means that after 2 terms, really a lot of work needs to be done. So we've had some really major jobs on some Royal Caribbean ships most recently. There's a big one coming up for Adventure of the Seas. There's a big one coming up, very big one on Disney Wonder. We start next week, I believe. That's a complete overhaul, complete renewal of existing decking. Most of these decks were already Bolidt on the Disney Wonder, but some of them were not, and they will now be Bolidt. So we're happy with that one. Yeah, in Royal Caribbean in the last year or so, they did really a huge amount of refurbishing work on the Azamara cruise ships, the Celebrity ships, and the Royal Caribbean ships. And well, all ships from 5 years and older were taken care of. Pullman Tour we have done, which is also part of Royal Caribbean, of course, but we've done some major jobs for them, mainly also in the galley areas where they renewed all the tiles. They were cracking everywhere. We renewed everything, and they like it so much that now they're also going to use it on new builds from the beginning. Rather than starting with tiles, they start with our system right away on the galley decks. New builds, we have the MSC ship coming up at STX in France. We're working on that one now. We're working on the Genting Dream in Meierwerft and the follow-up NCL vessel, Norwegian Joy, I believe, in Papenburg, and we're working on the TUI ship in Turku, and on the Viking new build in Ancona for Fincantieri. So we're also with new builds quite busy with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships at the same time. And next year it will be 3 ships in Meierwerft, 2 ships in France, and 1 ship in Finland and 1 ship in Italy. So it will be growing. We have made agreements with these shipyards for the next years to come till 2023. So yeah, it's going to be a busy few years to come for us. The work we do on board of river cruise ships in the winter time started actually with the request from Viking. Viking has built 56 ships, I think, in the most recent years, in a few years' time. At some stages even 14 ships to 16 ships in 1 year. We have done our decking on most of the outdoor areas, and these are small areas, and cleaning them is difficult. We have been instructing, we've been demonstrating how to do it, and I will actually go back again next week, Wednesday, on board of a ship in Rotterdam to walk around with a cleaning specialist who takes care of the carpets but also wants to take care of our decks, to see how we can help him to make it better and make a better product for Viking. But directly for Viking we already did in the last 2 years, every winter time, about 17 or 18 ships in 2 weeks time. We completely cleaned the areas, some areas resanded, and some areas we have treated with a new top layer to make them look like new again. So in the winter time, no passengers on board. We have a nice period where we can work on one ship after the other because they're all stored or laid up in Cologne or in Austria. So there's a lot of ships in Linz, and there's a lot of ships in Cologne. We first did the ships in Cologne, and then we went to Linz, and in a 3-week period we dealt with about 25 ships where we treated them, cleaned them, and demonstrated also how to do it. And yeah, they like that a lot. They want to increase this service on the next winter stop, and they want to improve their own service on board by next week going on board with this cleaning specialist, so maybe they can do more already before we arrive. So we have maybe less work to do in the future, but it is a much appreciated service that Viking orders from us, and yeah, we're happy with that. And I wish we could do the same on cruise ships, because the cruise ships, they don't stop in the winter time, so we never have the time to do this. But it would be a good thing there as well. But we do that in dry dock every 5 years. It's a bit longer break. It's more difficult. Well, we've been asked already 2 years ago that by the cruise lines, by several cruise lines, what will be your presence in China? Because as of the year 2017, we will have ships sailing there, and we want you to be there as well. Because we need service, we need repairs, we need cleaning, and we are not going to take the ship back to Europe or America to get this work done. So the dry docks will also happen in China. And with the dry docks happening in China, you need to have materials there, people there, and service. So we have decided that by the end of this year we will be present in China, and we will be first opening an office and work from an office, slowly growing into having a warehouse and being able to provide local labor working for us on board of the cruise ships. All of this, of course, starts gradually, like we did in Miami. When we went to Miami, it's about almost 16 years ago, and that has grown in 15 years. Together with the turnover, of course, you get more possibilities. We will now go into a new warehouse in Miami with a new office to be able to be ready for the future. So we have more space to store materials, and we have a better, how do you call that? So we have all the people together, the warehouse people, the office people. It's now in one, and used to be separate, and that's going to be one. And the same setup with the combination, with the connection with Holland. So we have a direct line with Holland. They are working on the same computer system. We have the same telephone system. So everything is linked with Holland. We will set up the same thing in China, and it will start growing from next year onwards. Because not only Royal Caribbean or NCL, but Costa, Carnival, Holland America Line, all of these cruise lines, they all go to China. And maybe they will not be building anything soon, but if they will, we will be ready for that as well. There are, of course, a lot of rumors about Chinese shipyards working together with Fincantieri, working together with Carnival to try and build a cruise ship in China. If that happens, we are ready, because we have set up this organization for the service side. So it's good both ways, for ourselves for now, but also for the future, for the cruise lines and the shipbuilding companies, that we are there, that we are local, and that we can provide the same quality, the same service that they expect from us anywhere in the world. So that's our view on China.